Matt, it seems like everybody's coming out with a baritone guitar. Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I mean, baritones are really having a moment right now. In fact, it's funny. Out of all the people, D'Angelico, they just came out with a brand new pair of baritone guitars,
I see that there's
which
the Deluxe Atlantic and then the Deluxe Semi Hollow, which when I think of baritone, I think of low tuning chugging. I don't think of a semi hollow, jazz box, as you would say. Is that just in the quest to sound different? In the quest to have like a different string and fret tool in your toolbox?
I
Do
think
normal
it
folk
is.
need baritones? I know to
Well,
me,
I
baritone
mean,
is like a thing you have one of, like a bass. You only need like one bass if you're a guitar player. You only need like, do you only need to add baritone?
well, here's the thing: is you only need one bass, but then you need a bass amp.
Or you just plug it right in your interface because that's really all you're going to do anyway. You don't really need an amp.
Way back in the day before the digital interfaces were available for home, unless you wanted to explode your amp.
My first guitar amp was a bass amp, and so I recently was given, well, someone was disposing of a PVTNT that is technically a bass amp, but it sounds really good for like jazzy guitar because it got the high headroom, everything's clean. I mean, it's essentially the pedal platform, right? It has that headroom, it doesn't distort, it does everything, and then it sounds like the pedals that plug into it. But I don't know why the baritones, is it the designers getting bored? The brands are have sold the styles they want and they want to give you another option to purchase.
I,
I don't
I
know. I
think
don't know. I
I
don't.
think so. I mean, I've started seeing baritone scale necks available for Fender. That's one of the things Fender's got is, oh, I'd like to convert this. Fine, let me just undo four screws, put them right back on, and boom. I mean,
Maybe
you have to
that's the
invest
hack
in.
right there.
Yeah, Gretsch used to do one. I think they still do with the Electromatics. That's their single cut, I think, the Electromatic Jet, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
yeah, the Jet.
Um,
What kind of strings do baritones take? They take normal strings. You have to get special baritone strings.
there's no special baritone strings, but I think you wind up going with the high E winds up being like a 13 or a 14 gauge. I mean, because you need it longer, obviously, for the
Mm-hmm.
scale.
There's Ernie Ball baritone slinky. So because 13 is 72.
Yeah, 13 to 72.
Since it's a little bigger, yeah, that makes sense. What do you play, Matt? Do you play tens or nines?
I put tens on my Gibsons. That's just what I'm
What do you
used
have on
to.
the Fender?
Nine.
Nines.
Yep.
Look at you out there strutting your stuff with nines, being all
I know
slinky.
two different scale lengths. What's up with that?
I mean, it's fine. It makes sense. It makes
It
good
it
sense. It's fine.
it. Yeah. I mean,
And it's been proven that there's no audible difference.
there is no
It's just
audible
a feel. It's a
difference.
comfort. It's a comfort thing, and you got to intonate to match, presumably. Check your
Yeah.
your 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 nut filings. Make sure they're filed out properly.
Well, the thing is with there are the Stratocaster people who worship at the altar of Stevie Ray who say, "Oh no, I put 12s on." And it's like, why do you
Just
like the
making life harder for
pain?
yourself, making it
Actually,
harder.
it's because they say, well, Stevie, he liked to fight with his guitar and he had a hole in his fingers and blah blah blah. It's like, you're not Stevie, and why are
It's
you injuring yourself?
it's funny you said fight with your guitar. My guy Rabbi Nick, who plays guitar in Ben's band that I'm also in, he also referenced fighting with his Strat like it's a fight, and he's like battling it. And I was like, that doesn't sound right. You shouldn't be fighting. It should be an extension of your fingers, extension of your arm, extension of your heart. Shouldn't be a fight. Don't fight with your guitar. Play with it. It's fun.
You know
I found
that
the cheapest baritone on Sweetwater is the Dan Electro 549, and then
oh,
there's
that
the
that is dirt cheap.
dirt cheap, and that's that like I think they're vintage 59 style, so essentially the same price for the not baritone as well. I do want one of those. That vintagey look. Again, I'm a vintage boy.